I became a cybersecurity engineer last year, and I figured I'd make a quick video going over what it's been like so far and what does I do in my role and how I got my role. Um, a little insight onto how I got my role. Essentially, in March or April of 2024, the security engineer that's like the lead for my firm, he visited the office, and I uh, I took it upon myself to just have a sit down with him. So I booked an hour, had a discussion. We talked about tooling. We talked about, what it is I should learn, what I should get into. And I just expressed to him like, hey, I'm really interested in like, doing security. And I would like love to like one day like join the team. And so I didn't really think much of it. I figured it would like happen at a different firm. And I would just like, here and there like interact with the security team at my company. But in I want to say November of 2024, I got a strange like meeting invite from my IT manager and my team manager, and it was hella scary because it was a Friday. So I was like, bro, I'm about to get fired right now. I'm cooked. I'm so fried, bro. And mind you, I was also late for work and I was in my crib. So I answered the call and I'm in my crib. And then my manager, knowing how anxious I am all the time, he was just like, yo, bro, you're fired. And I was like, oh, he's like, nah, I'll play with you. And then finally my IT manager joined and he's like, hey, Nija, are you still interested in cybersecurity? And I'm like, of course I am. And he was like, well, a role opened up and we figured instead of searching externally, we'll search internally. And I remember that you said you were really interested in the role. And I was like, yeah, I am. And they were like, I was so shook that they had to ask me, are you excited? And I'm like, yeah. But like I was actually so geeked out, bro, because like I didn't think it would happen at this company. My plans were to like get all my knowledge up and then leave this company to do cybersecurity, but it actually happened at this company, which was like so fire. And so essentially, that's how I got the role. Um, and I didn't start the role until the following year, which is 2025, in around April. And so I had to like meet the person that was replacing me, train him up, and then essentially transition into my cybersecurity role. Um, and so in April, I think it was like a Tuesday, I started, and off the bat, it was like foreign territory. My previous manager, he was like, "Hey man, they got so much issues over there. They got so much problems. Are you sure you can handle it?" And I'm just like, "Bro, I got this. Like, it's cool. It's chill." And it's crazy because the previous year, I actually went to like a different country to like meet the main security team to work with them for a little bit, and I actually got assessed there. Like, I had my whole assessment there, and that's when they were like, "Yeah, man, like we think you're a good fit." And so I already knew what the problems were. I already knew what the what the issues were gonna be. So I was pretty ready for it. But off the bat, identify quickly that like my like security skills weren't that crazy just yet. Like my skills were like I had very fundamental knowledge of like, of IT networking, and security concepts, but I wasn't like fully familiar with like all the tools, all the processes we had on the team. So it took me a time to like really like get like, acquainted with like all our processes and such. A lot of reading SOPs, a lot of studying, a lot of vendor documentation for like the firewalls and such. Spent like a couple weeks just reading up on those kind of things and just like seeing where I could like make some sort of impact. But it became pretty apparent that my first year was going to be strictly about learning, and that was like what it was, man. Like I just spent so much time learning, asking questions, like doing things that like felt like really tedious and like important to me, but to the team it really didn't matter at all. And I was just basically like doing whatever like my senior in the office like told me to do, and that's that's basically it. Like it was just a lot of learning and getting acquainted with tools and such. But yeah, I think around July, I ended up going back to my company's main country, like of operations, to work with the team again. I thought I was going for training because usually we have like a 6 weeks mandatory training in the home office. Uh, but the problem was it's like vacation time in Europe, and so a lot of the office was not even there. So when I first touched down that Friday night, like I left a Friday, and that Friday was like a security incident, and I had no idea because I was like on a flight, in like first class, lit, eating food, getting a little tipsy and stuff. So I was like, I had no worries in the world. Touchdown on Saturday. I didn't really check my phone or anything, because I just like I'm starting on Monday. I don't really care. But then I come in on Monday and it's like, yeah, man, we had an incident on Friday. Like, did you see it? Like, someone's trying to get into the network. Like, I think they're already in. I think we're actually compromised. And I'm like, bro, this is not a good look. I'm so uninformed. I don't know what's going on. I'm cooked. But it turns out it was a red team exercise. And so we got saved there. Well, I got saved there, but still, we had to go through the full incident response, procedure and follow through. Isolate whatever host we had to isolate, and then prevent these guys from getting any further access. And then it turns out we did a good job of doing that, and so we then switched to a catch and release sort of scenario where we like you know acknowledge that they were in the environment, and whatever they did, we kind of just documented it and see how it went. And it just became like a whole proper team exercise, learn from them, etc. But yeah, that was like the entirety of my summer. I spent the entire summer in Europe doing just incident response, incident handling, and also a lot of like EDR work. I was working a lot with Elastic. A lot of like different teams were complaining that like our Elastic agent was causing issues, causing a host to have performance issues. So I spent the entire summer baselining Elastic across like I want to say 500 machines from different departments, and that was so boring, so tedious. A lot of like just running like metrics logs for like a week, parsing out the data, and then trying to like make sense of like are these happening when our scanners are running? Are these happening when just trying to figure out why these like devices were like having issues with Elastic. And I think to this day I'm still working on this. Like I just reopened it up again. um so yeah, I just opened up the Elastic work again. Yeah, I'm rambling about I don't like Elastic, bro. I don't like EDR per se. Like EDR is just so like annoying to deal with. Just making exceptions and such, and trying to figure, like, just trying to fine tune it is just really, really, really agonizing. But it's cool. It's cool. I think it's just it's part of the job. So I'm like, I'm not totally phased by it. Um, but for the most part, though, after I came back to US, I kind of like really got back into like my groove. And I think from there on out, just started like picking up like the like requests that came from users and other teams and hammering those out. And I also like started like working closely with the domain I was going to start specializing in. So uh started doing more network security and digital asset security, as well as some security automation operations. Um, but yeah, like just starting to like specialize in things made it much easier to like focus my work. I think before that, I'm so limited in my skills that I wasn't sure like where to like project myself to like have the most impact. But my boss was just like, hey man, incidents first, then user requests, then projects, and that's what I went with. Just handle that first, and that made things much easier. And yeah, that's quite frankly it. Um, and I would say like this as my first year, I had no idea like what to expect outside of like the issues I already know my team had. But beyond that, I think it like actually exceeded my expectations. Like I feel like a genuine like cool guy now. I feel like a cool IT guy. I feel so cool in my office. I feel so cool in my job. I actually like really love it, and I'm like eager to keep learning. I'm eager to keep learning and growing my skills. I spent so much time on TryHackMe in like the last couple months, just trying to like validate my skills and get familiar with, you know, um, different like frameworks, different attack frameworks, just different techniques that like attackers use. Because I'm just trying to really harden my instant response skills. I think that's like one of the most important things I could work on in my early career. Just getting incident handling down to a science, being able to identify IOCs, be able to uh, respond effectively quickly, and also like be able to like convey to my teammates what it is I saw and and what I think we should do. Those are all things I think are really, really important. And yeah, um that's it for now. If you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe. This is my first YouTube video. It's gonna be a weird format. It's gonna be me with Counter Strike in the background. That's the format I'm going with right now until I figure out what is I really want to do. But so I make a video just to like start putting stuff out there and documenting my cybersecurity journey. But that's all for now. Tech Boy out. Have a good one.